Alright, guys. It is time for game one of this week's Icyfar challenge. Now, the challenge this week is yeah, nah. For those of you wondering, you're going, yeah, nah, what? Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. I just realized, actually, I set up my thing on the wrong scene. So I'm scrolling through, because people were saying, what does yeah, nah mean? You know, everyone wanted a description. They were saying, what exactly is the goal? So we've got a lovely GIF that describes basically what we wanted people to do here. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Here we have the Zerg. He comes down to expand. The Pro blocks it. And yeah, we wanted our opponents to really be pillars OFH. This Zerg player here, who just kind of rage quits after having a hatchery block. That's essentially what we're looking for. Unfortunately, game one, looks like our Zerg player is going to get to expand. This is all about blocking your opponent. The yeah, nah challenge is like, basically you want to chat to your opponent, say, hey, what are you doing? What are your goals in life? And then you want to ruin those. So basically like, oh, I always wanted to be a policeman. And then you have to be like, oh, you're too much, you're too physically weak and a pansy. Or, you know, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. And they're like, oh, you're too tall. You won't fit in the cockpit. Like, but in this case, in StarCraft, since those are both very physical things, that was weird. It's more about, oh, you want to expand? Blocked. Oh, you want to build that building? Blocked your add-on. You know, basically anything you could do to block them. And we're talking about buildings. But realistically, you could have blocked people in other ways as well. So up here in the top left, he's from my clan. He's a cool guy, and I imagine he's the one who sent the replay in. Up in the top left in the red, it's Flex. We're probably going to be watching Flex's view. I imagine he's the one who sent this replay, and most people play this challenge on the ladder. So the opponent's normally just playing a normal ladder game down here in clan Pete mode. Ooh, bit of a pervert clan. It's renovation. I like it. Little goggly. Oh, it's like a headphone is one of the eyes. Oh. So he puts the two headphones on and pretends he's listening with his eyes, but he's actually perving on you. I like it. Bit of Pete mode. Good stuff. So I like it renovation, and it's kind of capitalized like innovation. That's actually really cute. So Peeps is going to come over here, or renovation, as I should say. It's kind of like innovation, but without the work, and says, "Oh, you want to take a third? Do you want to take that? Huh?" The Zerglin's like, "Yeah, I do. I'm gonna chase you off, dickhead." The Reaper's like, "Oh, look at this hardcore micro. This is definitely innovation microing. Oh, wants to get the hatch down. Oh, and #1 block coming down. Wouldn't it be funny if Flex sent this in because he kept getting blocked? Oh, the Zergling gets the last hit. Oh my god, both of them survive on almost no hit points. That was absolutely insane. A good start to things. Now this Marine here is going to go out and chase the Overlord. Those two Zerglings could get him. He's got to be careful. But they're going after the SCV. They say, nah, let's get the worker. The SCVs do hop inside the command center. The Overlord flying through says, hey, that's a very quick third CC. Oh! I wasn't expecting that. There's a reason I don't look at the game timer before I cast the replays at all. I make sure it's hidden, and that is why. Renovation's like, gotta get me Hellion production out. The two Zerglings come up and hold position right there. And he's just, I'm done. He's like, well, I can't build any fighting units. My only Marines down here, and you could probably get killed by some Lings. Now, is it actually game over? Hells no. I mean, Renovation could just pull like 6 or 7 SCVs and kill these Zerglings. But it's not always, a lot of StarCraft isn't necessarily about what can happen. It's about how something makes you feel. Well done. I think we may, since that was such a quick one, and we don't want to spoil it, I think we're going to go straight into the second game for the YouTube video, so that the people who click on the YouTube video, so you guys have you know, you've seen a 20-minute or a 30-minute or a 15-minute video, you didn't know that one would end so fast. Game 1 and 2 together in one VOD. We're going to do that to make this a bit more exciting for the viewers. Big thank you, Joshua Taylor Music, for the 2-month sub as well. So guys, up here in game number 2 of the Yeah Nah challenge, in the top right, in the red, the Protoss player, it is Heresy. And down here in the bottom left in the blue, it's Goobjube, which is a name. Goobjube. For some reason, this name makes me think boob job. Is it just me? I guess it's kind of close. But for some reason, Goobjube makes me think boob job. I don't know. It's weird. Barracks gas is going to go down. And this probe's going to come in and no doubt be a bit of a naughty boy. Now, guys, can we get the exclamation mark Icyfar challenge activated in chat? So, for those of you watching at home, watching live, we do announce a new challenge every week today. We always cast the show at this time every week now. We recently swapped back to this time slot after EPT move dates. And the challenge is bait. Bait your opponent out of position and crush them. Fake drops, hallucinated armies. So you can do things where you bait them and hit elsewhere. So you catch them with their army out of position, but you can also bait them into direct traps. Widowmine traps. A sneaky disruptor waiting in the shadows on the high ground. You try to lure them up there with an exposed High Templar or something, you know, something valuable you leave out in the open. Yeah, baneling traps, widowmine traps, all sorts of stuff. Set up a bit of a surround, and then you just send a few units out into the open to try to lure them out into the open. You know, there's so many cool things you guys can do. As always, I like to throw some ideas out to help stir up your mental juices a bit. I like to think of myself as like the witch above the cauldron. Just making sure, because some people are so used to playing just the same way always. Oh no, he just went to take the natural and YouTube is not happy about it. Oh no. Oh, he looks for revenge. Oh, he gets the probe. Does go down in return, but I love that he's so angry that his command center has to be placed 2 hexes off. I mean, he's gonna have to lift that and land it. This is a good trade for you as a Terran player. But I love that just upon seeing the gas steal earlier and now this, Goobjube is like, I think you are. You're... It's so funny because you can already tell mentally Goobjube has lost the game. Isn't dropping mules or building SCVs. Reactor's really late. There's no second depot. That's been completely forgotten. Has actually missed 3 SCVs at this point. Literally mentally broken from a pylon where the command center's meant to be. Now, thankfully, this Stalker micro is some of the worst micro I have ever seen from a Stalker in my entire life. It did Florencio-style micro there, where it was trying to spread its damage across the Marine and the Reaper equally and stutter stepping unnecessarily. Oh my god, Drilly boys! Drilly boys! Drilly boys! Oh my god, this is bait. This Stalker here is like, I'm gonna get you excited thinking you're gonna kill it, but you won't. Like, that is so frustrating. And the probe, why is there a probe here? No! No! Stalker comes in and gets the Marine. Oh my god. This is what sometimes StarCraft isn't about doing the most efficient thing. It's about making your opponent mad. Because, I mean, we've already got like 12 SCVs that have been pulled for literally no reason. This command center was finished. I mean, he could have just built a bunker up here and just chilled and waited for units, but Goobjube has not built an SCV in 2 minutes. Hasn't dropped any mules. Mentally broken from a pylon block. I cannot believe just how accurate that GIF was, guys. I can't believe how accurate this carbot animation was. I thought this was a joke. It's like the, oh no, you're gonna block my natural, I'm not dealing. I always thought that was a joke. I forgot. Many people in StarCraft think the game is about their opponent just letting them no rush 20. And when their opponent doesn't let them no rush 20, they just cry. Why do we not have an orbital? Why haven't we moved this? Why are they not mining in the main? Why are you not dropping mules? Oh, and do not lose that bunker. Focus fire the SCV. Focus fire the SCV. Heresy. Heresy. Oh, the bunker does finish. Okay. Does get the SCV. But yeah, I mean, it looks like Goobjube's fine. Now let's check out the macro behind this. We haven't really looked at Heresy's follow-up. Heresy's been prioritizing being a douchebag over anything else. And the Nexus is actually only just finishing now. So if Goobjube had even a semblance of macro while all this was going down, the Terran would actually be ahead. Heresy's follow-up. It's like, yeah, Blink's on the way, but I mean, what are you really going to do with Blink? Apparently, we're going to build shield batteries outside our opponent's base. And mass Blink Stalker. Okay, yeah, that'll work. I mean, tanks are coming out, which could help. I love the misplaced barracks, by the way. This wall-off is an absolute poop show. No starport, still not dropping. Wait. He dropped 2 mules. He just dropped 1 more. Now he drops another one. You can tell that he was like, drop mule, click. Thought about it, and then clicked another mule on the bottom right, and then clicked it on the mineral patch. Like, you can actually tell. Let me check the control groups. Yeah, Goob has no control groups, guys. So you can see there's the control groups down here for the Protoss player. The Stalkers are on a group, the Nexus and the Gateways. Goob, 0 control groups, not even on the command centers. Yeah, it's always the players who don't even know how to use hotkeys, and they just click in the bottom right, who are the angriest players in StarCraft. It's kind of fantastic. Like, man, this game's just so unfair. Your race is more powerful. I'm like, wait. You're like clicking on a command center and clicking in the command card to build SCVs, mate. You can't complain about anything. It's like watching a guy go into a boxing match, and he's like hopping around. And you're like, oh, is there something wrong with your leg? And he's like, nah, this is just how I fight. And you're like, why don't you use both feet? And he's like, nah, this is how I fight. And you're like, that seems like you're purposely making things harder for yourself than it needs to be. He's like, what, I'm not a tryhard who learned how to box with 2 legs. And you're like, what? You think that's tryhard? And they're like, yeah, you freaking tryhard idiot. And you're like, okay. This guy's gonna purposely give himself a handicap, and then he's gonna complain about you playing the game? Okay, all right. We got someone with a good attitude here. 3 depots going down at once, all queued up off 1 SCV, despite already being deeply supply blocked. Maynard would be so proud right now. Right now, somewhere out there, Maynard is going, focus goals, and he's just. This here is, yeah, the opposite of whatever gets Maynard lewd. It's Nard very upset. Oh my god, the Stalker blink. They actually get 2 tanks. Now, this tank in the back has done a crazy amount of damage. 1 tank survives. You really need to repair that and put Marines back in the... These Stalkers could just run in the natural... There's nothing at the... Oh no, Goob, protect the tank. Okay. Heresy there getting a little bit excited. No 3rd base yet. Is thinking about it. Could definitely get ahead. I mean, the mass Stalkers, that's one composition you can always lose a game with, right? Unfortunately, though, as I pointed out before, Goob doesn't know how to use hotkeys, control groups, set rally points. But yeah, like there's no rally point on the natural. 1 barracks and 1 factory have a rally point. Nothing else does. It's like staring into quicksand of Terran APM. That's what Goob's setup is right here. We're looking at a player who has literally made playing Terran the equivalent of just kind of swimming through thick hummus. That observer goes down, DT runs in, takes out the red hit point tank, go in the main. So there's no turret actually covering the mineral line, but this DT says, I don't actually want to murder, I would like to perv. So he's going to hang out in the back and just kind of watch. Goob is going to build a sensor tower. Ready to roll out. I don't think he has any idea there's a Dark Templar in his base right now. This is hilarious. He does have a turret there, but nothing covering that natural mineral line. Now this tank is very slowly going to creep out of here. Ready for dust off. 3rd base is on the way. Charge starts up here for Heresy, who has all the time in the world, but a lot of money as well. And, you know, I've seen players throw games from here, guys. So as much as Heresy has prioritized just blocking the opponent's natural, being a pain in the butt, being annoying, Goob, who knows? Maybe Goob brings it back. He's building a turret here, I think just for warp prisms. Will coincidentally spot the Dark Templar. I want you all to guess in chat. Type the number of seconds you think from this turret finishing until Goob actually realizes that the DT is there. Number of seconds. Type it in chat right now. Get your guesses going. Winner gets my eternal respect for 6 game sense. All right, 922 is when that goes in. Oh, the DT is walking in, so 922. The DT starts attacking. So, I mean... That bet, obviously, I don't think he would have noticed at all if the DT didn't attack. Ended up only being about 7 or 8 seconds. Damn. I really wish that DT just stayed there on hold position. I think it would have been a solid, like, 3 or 4 minutes of just a red dot sitting on the minimap. I love how Goob's still prioritizing shit talk over anything else. Now, Heresy there getting a little bit big for his britches. Needs to calm down there. Does need to pull back 3,000 minerals in the bank. Oh no. Heresy is still on 3 gateways and is prioritizing microing 5 Stalkers when, like, that was really good for the first 6 or 7 minutes of the game. It's like, it's 10 minutes, you've got bigger things to do, right? Heresy's still got a massively oversaturated main, hasn't saturated the gases in the main properly. The third is starting to pro. The macro is still better for Heresy. It's just without any actual production, you kind of look at this and go, are you ever going to get on top of the spending? 2 Stalkers for a tank, not bad, but why are we still bullying with 3 Stalkers? This is that moment where, I don't know, there's like a weedy dude in charge, and for some reason, the meaty oafs, the Terran over here are just doing what he says because they're afraid of him. They're like, nah, he's a dark sorcerer. It's like, no, those are 3 virgin Stalkers, mate. Those are like literally the weakest units in the game. You're just afraid of them because they were scary, like, you know, when you were a little kid in the 5-minute mark of the game, when you didn't have stim and shields and those upgrades, which you've made none of because you're going bio raven tank with no up, and you're going to just pick up with 0 map vision and fly through the middle of the map. Oh, please show me your brilliant tactical maneuvers, you absolutes. Through the watchtower, stalkers. Oh, who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought we'd lose a full medevac flying through the middle of the map with literally 0 map vision? And then he's just typing. He's like, oh, look at this map hacker. Are you insane? Goobjube, what are you doing? And how do you think this is StarCraft? He's trying to drop in the main through the middle of, like, what are we even looking at right now? What is, look at this drop. He's like, I've got 3 Marines, 2 Marauders, an unsaged tank, and an auto turret. What's hilarious is that he's actually taking an okay fight. For some reason, units aren't warping in here. Heresy, of course, is tryharding the Blinkstalker micro. So I think Heresy may watch my stream, guys. I've recently had about 36 rants about players massing Blinkstalkers in low leagues with bad micro and how they're the most inefficient unit in the game unless you micro your heart out. And I've been saying, well, if you want to do it, it's fine if you're at low level. You don't have to not do it, but you got to really micro them to get value out of it. Now, there is an exception to the rule of you should be try-hard microing your Blinkstalkers, and that's if you have 5,000 minerals. You probably should build about 13 gateways right now. Heresy's built 4 more gateways. It's like, yeah, I've got 7 gates now, and I'm like, okay, cool. It'll only take you 5 minutes to get through that bank, mate. That's assuming you're not mining any money. It's okay. There's Charge Zealots. There's Colossus on the way. I mean, let's keep in mind, Goobjube's macro is so bad. Look at this. This command center got placed off center. He's so mind screwed from the early pylon blocks. He blocked his own command center and built it 1 square off. It's meant to be 1 square lower. There's a bunker in the mineral line. The SCVs can't even mine properly around that. Why is that even there? And of course, the typical, there's this thing that happens with Terran players, guys. We're up to a certain level on the ladder. They don't understand the difference between bio and mech. And it's always, I'm kind of going to go bio, but I won't actually get any upgrades to make those units good, like stim, shields, 1-1. And then I'm going to go into mech, but I'm also not going to get any upgrades for those units. So I'm just going to kind of have some unupgraded bio, some unupgraded tanks. And then after I don't win with like 3 siege tanks, 6 marines, and a marauder, I'm going to go, well, I guess this composition doesn't work. And I'm going to do the same thing every player does. Up to about, what, mid-gold? As the game goes longer, every Terran player is like, battle cruisers. It's like no matter what situation they are in the game, they could be up 120 supply, they're like, I think I'm losing, I need to go battle cruisers. It's like, oh god. The anti-armor missile seemed like the important thing to do there. I love that there's a player who doesn't use any hotkeys or control groups. Clearly, oh, he's actually made control groups. Once he hit the mid game, he decided control grouping his command centers was a good idea. So absolutely no fundamentals, yet prioritizes using anti-armor missile in a fight. Like, that to me is incredible. He's like, yeah, I don't have any units. I got 3k minerals, but I'm going to quickly throw an anti-armor missile in a fight. I'm like, how do you even have that muscle memory? It's like absolutely insane to me. And he's building 1 tank and an SCV right now. The wall is lowered, and he's prioritizing throwing a single auto turret down. Oh, but you're so good. I knew it was coming as well, right? I was like, this guy has got to take the loss so bad. Absolutely. Oh my lord. You've got to work on that micro though. He knows what micro is? Wow. 4 tanks queued off 1 factory, nothing building off anything else. Thank you. So what a beautiful game. I just really enjoyed those early chat lines, and I just want to see those one more time, guys. Goob here, just an impressively high level player, as is Heresy. Goes for the pylon block, and there we go. Just beautiful. Block. You want to expand here? Yeah, nah. GG, well played, Heresy. Thank you very much for that replay. Thank you, Flex, for the lovely submission in game number 1. The reactor swap, truly the rage quit stimulus for many people out there on the ladder. GG, well played. A good start here to the AMD Yeah Nah challenge. We'll be right back with games 3 and 4.